Thank you, Sally. You know, when I heard that Sally won the Luminary Award last year, it was not a great surprise that I would win it this year. After all, there are so many similarities between me and Sally. We both have daughters who graduated from Paideia together in 2011. We both have sons who played together on the ASA soccer team in DeKalb County on the same team. We both live in Druid Hills. Both graduated from UGA Law School. Both have talented, successful spouses. We both have practiced in the criminal justice system ever since graduating from UGA Law School. The only real difference, between Sally and me is that, I represent people who were charged with child molestation, creating child pornography, terrorism, gang cases, possession of contraband, selling methamphetamine and cocaine. And Sally, when she was the acting Attorney General of the United States, she defied the president. to protect the rights and the dignity of people all around the world. So, we're really very similar people, and just this very small little divergence in our career paths. Well, I should point out too, I think, one more difference. Sally, I've never been fired from a job. 10 days she lasted. Like a Scaramucci or something, but I've been with the same firm for 39 years and nobody's threatened to fire me yet. Like Chris, I can't think of an award that is really more meaningful to me and more humbling than an award from the Southern Center for Human Rights. I have been practicing law now for 39 years. And looking back from the vantage point of this podium and this bright, shining moment, I have to admit that at times I am discouraged, I am disillusioned, and in fact, I am rather pessimistic. At times I am discouraged by the indignities that are visited upon our clients who've done nothing to deserve such indignities, the cruelties imposed on many of our clients who have not done anything to deserve cruel treatment, the denial or imposition of excessive bond for people for minor offenses, the mishandling of people who obviously are so desperately in need of mental health treatment, the condition of the jails and the prisons, even the lockups in the courthouses are just deplorable. The imposition of prison sentences of 10, 15, 20 years. But when I started practicing law, the same people would be sentenced to 1 year, 5 years, and in some cases just a civil sanction for their conduct. I'm often disillusioned by the press that often sensationalizes cases in such superficial ways, fail to consider so many of the troubling aspects of the criminal justice system, prosecutorial decision-making. I'm pessimistic about the Georgia State Legislature, which, like the Congress of the United States, is just disgraceful when it comes to criminal justice issues. They talk about war on crime, they talk about a war on drugs, which signals to me what the legislators are thinking about, that collateral damage is okay, that creating misery and suffering on a wide scale, which we would expect in a war, but hardly in a criminal justice system. I fear that I'm going to end up leaving the criminal justice system when I retire, if my children will ever get out of school. I fear that I will leave the criminal justice system not in much better shape than when I started practicing in 1980. And in many ways, it's really gotten worse. While I've been able to help a few individuals avoid the purgatory of a lengthy prison sentence, when you consider the fact that there are just hundreds of thousands of people arrested in this state every year, there's 50,000 people serving prison sentences now, I often think that my small effort amounts to nothing more than a grain of sand on a beach that just stretches for miles and miles. So I am disillusioned, I am discouraged, and I am pessimistic. I've been practicing law for 39 years, and I look back from this vantage point, this podium, in this shining moment, and I want to tell you something. I am encouraged, I am optimistic, and I am inspired. I am encouraged when I appear before judges, many of whom are here tonight, who are sometimes labeled as activists because they are willing to find new rights for people accused of crimes. They are willing to enforce more rigorously traditional rights. There are appellate judges who are here tonight who probably would feel a lot more comfortable with their Federalist Society brethren, but they are here because they want to hear from us and they want to protect people, even people who were rightfully accused of criminal conduct. I feel optimistic when I appear occasionally at the legislature with Sarah Tatanchi for many years and Jack Martin, who I saw here tonight, and Sandy Michaels. The three of us did a lot of lobbying over the years at the Georgia legislature. And over those years, we were able to work with law professors, with prosecutors, with legislators, and come up with the new Discovery Act, to come up with new forfeiture laws, much improved forfeiture laws in the last year, and of course with the new evidence code. And all of these events occurred because the legislature was willing to work with us, law professors and the prosecutors, in a collaborative effort to try to improve the criminal justice system. I am impressed and inspired by certain members of the press. Bill Rankin, who I know is here someone tonight, is here tonight. Certainly the best of the reporters who cover the courts in our state. Someone who's willing to expose the inhumanity of the death penalty and the brutal treatment that people are suffering in our penal institutions. And I am really inspired by the work of the Southern Center for Human Rights and its devoted staff, by the Georgia Justice Project, by the Fulton County PD's office, which is so much better improved over the last 30 years, Claudia Sowry and the DeKalb County public defenders, and perhaps most of all, the incredible work of all my friends at the federal defenders. I'm inspired most of all by a room full of lawyers and non-lawyers like you. People who know that we need to help people who have done things that are not acceptable. Lawyers like Steve Bright, the Nobel laureate of individual rights. I am inspired by my partners and the people who work at my firm. Ed, who is trying a case, of course, in Valdosta, and his son John Garland, trying a case in Valdosta now. Robin, Amanda, Kristen, Ann, David, I gotta look at my notes, Lucas, and the staff, Hassan, Donna, Susan, Tori, Rhonda, Gavin. I think you all know that you all mean the world to me. Your hard work and your loyalty to the firm is really just astounding to me. But finally, from this vantage point, at this shining moment in time, what I feel most of all is honored to be one of you. To have made a career, a life in your presence, following your examples, learning from your courage and your insights and leadership, and never feeling alone in the trenches, always knowing that I had allies like you out there. This has been really one of the great honors of my life. Practicing criminal defense for a living is not easy. Those of us who do it day in and day out. We don't have blisters on our feet. We don't have calluses on our hands. We don't end up getting workers' comp for back injuries. But it is exhausting, and it is stressful, and it often yields very little in terms of rewards for all of our hard work. We leave the comfort of our homes, families, to live in some motel on the side of an interstate for 5 weeks. We do everything we can to try to help our client, to save our client. Maybe it's a death penalty case, maybe it's a white-collar crime case. trying to save our client from a lengthy sentence, week after week, only to see our hard work result in a conviction and an unbearably long sentence. This is a frustrating occupation we are in. We lose a lot of cases. We lose more cases than we win. We lose cases that we should have won. We lose cases when we outthink and outwork and outmaneuver the opposition. Even my kids have learned that when I come home after a trial, they never say, "Did you win?" They just say, "How long did you keep him out?" Way to keep him out, Dad. You know, if I could keep him out for an hour, that was what Alan Baveman always calls a technical verdict of acquittal, like a TKO. You know, back in the late 1980s, I was working with Ed Tolley in a case, the mail bomber case. You may remember back in the 80s. And I told him it was really hard losing so often, so many times. And Ed said to me, "You know, Don, practicing criminal defense is a lot like playing golf. You put the ball on the tee, you get your best driver, you hit the ball, it hooks to the left and goes in the pond. I hate this game. You put the ball on the tee, you get the driver, you hit the ball, it goes straight down the fairway and then slices into the woods. God, I hate this game. You put the ball on the tee, it goes straight down the fairway, and of course it lands in a sand trap. I hate this game. And you put the ball on the tee, and you hit it with the driver. It goes straight down the fairway. It hits the back of the green on top of the sand trap, and the ball starts rolling back. And as the ball is rolling back, the clerk announces, "The jury has a verdict." And the ball is rolling back, and it's a hole-in-one. I love practicing criminal defense law in this moment of time with you all beside me. Thank you very much.